What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael Weir, and today is Halloween. Halloween is my favorite time of year for many reasons, but the most important one to me are the scary movies. There's nothing like curling up on the couch, watching a scary movie, and hoping the thing that's on the screen is not somehow directly behind you. There's just something fun about a scary movie that everybody can enjoy. So in this video, I thought it'd be really fun to talk about 10 of my favorite scary movies. Now, to be clear, I don't know if this is a top 10 list. I don't know if I would put any of these at number 1 or any of these ranked above each other. These are just 10 horror movies that I thought it'd be fun to talk about on Halloween. Let's do the list. Alright guys, so first up on our Halloween movies, we have The Blair Witch Project. The Blair Witch Project came out back in 1999, and it kicked off the found footage genre. But something else it did was it scared people because people thought it was real. Yeah, back in 1999, you didn't have a cell phone in your hand where you could just check to see what Google said was real and what Google said was not real. Back in 1999, when you went to a movie and it said this is real footage, some people actually believed that these were 3 real people that went out with a video camera into the woods to look for the Blair Witch and were taken by the Blair Witch. Now, obviously that never happened, that wasn't real, and this was a work of fiction, but it did a good job tricking people. But this movie did another thing, and that is being scary. This movie is genuinely scary because it's filmed in black and white, and so the entire movie has that gritty feeling that this very well could be real. And on top of that, you never actually see the Blair Witch. You only see the sign of the Blair Witch. You hear cracking. Your ears actually hear more than your eyes see in this movie, and that's an interesting experience to have during a horror movie. I enjoy the Blair Witch Project for making me feel uneasy the entire time. Next up, guys, we have The Conjuring. The Conjuring is a movie I revisited recently with my wife and some friends, and The Conjuring has several scenes in it that are just chilling. The first of which is right here, this hide and clap. Oh my god, that hide and clap scene still holds up today. The mom's playing with the daughter who can't go to school yet, and she's like, I want to play hide and clap, mommy. And so the mom's like, fine, puts a blindfold on, asks for her claps, and the demon in the closet is clapping at her. It is scary because you can see her walking towards the thing and she doesn't realize what she's walking towards. It's a very scary scene. I enjoy it a lot. And also, this movie introduced Annabelle, and while the Annabelle movies may not be the best horror movies of all time, Annabelle introduced in this movie is still scary. That scene still holds up. I enjoy The Conjuring for many reasons. My favorite reason, however, is the introduction to the Warrens. The Warrens in this movie are such badass exorcists or just demon hunters. They're fucking cool. Like, I want to be on the team of the Warrens. These Warrens, not the real life Warrens. They were weird. Let's move on. Moving on, guys, is a horror comedy movie, Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods, like I said, it's a horror comedy. They play on the genre a lot, and they subvert your expectations a lot, which I appreciate. You get 5 young adults that go into the woods to enjoy a weekend at a cabin, and as it turns out, they are being sacrificed in a ritual to save all of mankind. For the most part, this movie is cabin in the woods type things that happen to them where they get chased by zombies and you think, okay, this is just going to be another slasher. But the movie ends with an elevator of creatures. That's all I'll say. Just an elevator of creatures. And that scene is by far one of the coolest horror movie things that I've ever seen. So Cabin in the Woods, it's a funny good time. Next up, guys, we have the movie It Follows. It Follows is a sexually transmitted demon. That's the best way I can put it. If you are being followed by this demon, the only way to redirect the demon is to have sex with someone else and hope that person doesn't die, because if that person gets followed and killed by the demon, it will then start following you. It doesn't follow fastly. That thing will be in the distance and it's just coming towards you. But if it touches you, I guess touches you, kills you, I'm not sure what it does to you, but if it gets you, you're dead. So It Follows, it's a creepy good time, and I love that ambiguous ending where you've got the thing that may or may not be following them in the distance after they think that they've defeated it. I just really like that. Next up, guys, we have The Mist. The Mist, directed by Frank Darabont, starring Thomas Jane, is a cool creature feature horror film, but it's also a awesome look at what would one man do to protect his son, and protect his son from a mob, protect his son from whatever was going on in the world. But ultimately, what would you do if you came down to knowing your son was about to be eaten by these monsters? How would you protect him? And the twist end to this movie gets me every single time. I'm still feeling that first moment I saw it. This is a good horror movie, but that twist is almost unmatched. Next up, guys, we have the 1996 classic, Scream. Scream is a fantastic movie, kicked off an iconic slasher. It's just one of those horror movies that when it hit, they didn't realize how big this thing was going to hit. And oh my God, we're still in 2022 talking about waiting for Scream 6. Like, that's how well Scream did when it came out. Stu and Billy coming after people in the Ghostface costumes is just a fun time. I love watching this movie. I actually watched this last year on Halloween and contemplated rewatching it again this year, but I think we're going to do something else. I'm not sure yet. But Scream, it's always a fun slasher time. Next up, guys, we have the A24 film, The Witch. Now, this is a slow burn horror movie that takes its time, but it is worth when you get to that ending. I love this movie. I think this movie is a perfected slow burn. Like, if somebody's like, I want to make a slow burn horror movie, watch this first, take some ideas, and go from there, because this movie does it well. It keeps you tense the entire time, and my favorite part is how secluded you feel as the viewer watching this secluded family in the woods. Like, they're kicked out of their Puritan village that they're in because they're almost too Puritan, and so they're kicked out, and they're like, okay, that's fine, we're gonna go and we're gonna start our own family in the woods. And like, that's never been a problem before, ever. I'm sure it'll all work out fine. Oh wait, it's all horrible and everything goes wrong. The Witch is a good time, and also you get Black Phillip, and he's right there on the cover, and he's just a, he's just a goat doing his thing. Next up, guys, is not a horror movie as much as it is a psychotic movie, and that is American Psycho. I'll be honest with you, I'll watch this at any time throughout the year. I think American Psycho is a fantastic movie. It's funny in parts, but it's also deeply disturbing in other parts. You've got Patrick Bateman cutting people up, but by the end of the movie, you're questioning everything you saw. And something about that just is great, but it also is terrifying, because there's people like this in society walking around just like this that think that they're murderers or want to be murderers in their heads. I'm not one of them, I think. We'll check back next year. Next up, guys, we have Evil Dead, the 2013 Evil Dead. This is my favorite of all the Evil Dead movies. I think 1 and 2 are fine. I think 3 is just too out there for me, but I really like the Evil Dead from 2013. Next year, we're supposed to get Evil Dead Rise. I don't think it's a sequel to this, but hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's more in this vein is what I'm going for, because this actually felt scary. I liked the Evil Dead in this movie. It was more graphic horror than it was silly horror, and I appreciate that. Also, like, there was a point to them actually being out in this cabin in the woods in this movie. This girl right here is going through like a drug thing, so she's trying to get away from drugs and trying to get clean, so they bring her out to the woods, and then when she starts seeing stuff, they're like, yeah, it's because you're on drugs. But it's not, because they're in an Evil Dead movie. They just don't know it. All right, guys, the final movie I want to talk about with you guys is Halloween 2018. Halloween 2018 revived Michael Myers for me. Like, I was a fan. I thought the Michael Myers movies were fine. I'll be honest with you, I was a big fan of the Rob Zombie movies at that point. When I saw this movie, I think that it was a perfect sequel to the original 1978, but I also think it outpaced the original in every single way. I think the story was written better. I think Jamie Lee Curtis's performance was better. I think Michael Myers was better. The kills weren't so violent like the Rob Zombie movies that it's unwatchable at times, but they were violent enough that it was like, oh, Michael Myers is such a badass. And there's that tracking shot where Michael Myers is back and he grabs that hammer and then he grabs the knife. You guys know what I'm talking about. Halloween 2018 is a must-watch in the Halloween season, and so I had to put it on this list of horror movies. And guys, that's my list of 10 scary movies that I would recommend to you guys this Halloween season. I hope you guys have a fantastic Halloween. Hope you guys enjoyed the season this year. I can't wait till next year to talk about more Halloween movies with you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Alright guys, so I said I'd give you a look at my movie theater room, but decked out for Halloween in the after credits yesterday, and I decided I'd throw them in the after credits of this video. So here you go. Behind me, you've got the popcorn candy station covered in spiderwebs, the refrigerator covered in spiderwebs over here. I actually changed out all of my movie theater posters for the season. As you can see, they're all different horror movies that I love, and I just thought that was pretty cool. Over here, the Infinity Gauntlets, I covered those in spiderwebs. That's pretty much all I did. I bought this that I really like. It's all the different Jason masks throughout the year, including the space mask, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that's my Halloween. That's what I did for Halloween. Wasn't crazy down here, but I had some fun. And also, that's a Michael Myers knife hanging from the ceiling that a couple of people have hit their heads on because they're taller than me. All right. Thanks for watching. See you next time.